Okay. No, we're done. We're done. You're under arrest. We're going. We're done. We're done. I said we're done.
I just feel betrayed. I feel angry. I feel a lot of things, and I still am confused. The only job I have as a nurse is to keep my patients safe. A blood draw is not, it just gets thrown around there like it's some simple thing, but blood is your blood. That's your property.
It was alarming. Immediately after seeing the video, they started an internal affairs investigation to look into what happened. We also looked at our policies and procedures to see if maybe there was something that needed to be done.
To the values of my administration and unacceptable to the values of the Salt Lake City Police Department and this community. I extended a personal apology just now on the phone to Ms. Wubbles for what she has been through and for simply doing her job. There is currently an internal affairs investigation examining the actions of this officer, and the Civilian Review Board is conducting a parallel investigation. I have reiterated to Chief Brown that I expect the highest level of professionalism from him and his team. I have also instructed Chief Brown to conduct a thorough review of all policies and trainings to ensure respect for all individuals in all situations that we come into contact with. Following the incident, Salt Lake City Police Department Command met with hospital administration. We immediately changed policies that may have been a factor in this encounter, and the officers' duties have been modified. I take these incidences very seriously. Since I took office, I have been working with Salt Lake City Police Department to increase our use of de-escalation techniques, and we have had great success. And this incident is a troubling setback for all of us. No medical professional in Salt Lake City should be hindered from performing their duties, and certainly not be fearful of the police officers they come into contact and work in partnership, often to save the lives of others. Again, I appreciate your time and your attention to this matter. I'm going to turn the time over to Chief Brown.
Thank you for being here. I was alarmed by what I saw in the video with our officer, Ms. Wubbles. I am sad at the rift this has caused between law enforcement and the nurses we work so closely with. I want to be very clear. We take this very seriously. Immediate steps were taken within 12 hours. Body camera footage was reviewed, and an internal affairs investigation was started. We've looked at the actions that took place, the policies that could have prevented it, and the training that must be done. Within 24 hours of this incident, Salt Lake City Police Department took steps to ensure this will never happen again. We met with the hospital CEO and the COO, the nursing management team, their legal representation team, and the University of Utah Chief Brophy. Most notable of all these conversations were that we apologized for the incident. We truly do. and we promise to find a solution. Additionally, our policy management team continues to work closely with the hospital staff on improved policies and training. To date, we have suspended the officer from the blood draw program. We have already replaced our blood draw policy with a new policy. All remaining officers on the blood draw program have reviewed and are operating under this new policy and procedure. It is my sincere desire to get back to a very cooperative, respectful, and friendly relationship with our brothers and sisters in white. We work so very closely with them. The Salt Lake City Police Department, the Salt Lake City police officers have a very soft spot in our hearts for all medical professionals. We know if we are ever hurt in the line of duty, it is in their caring hands that they will perhaps save our life one day. I believe we can learn from mistakes and build upon and from building strong relationships with everyone we work with and serve. By doing that, we become a stronger police department. Thank you.
I am definitely open to any questions you may have, as well as the chief.
A couple of things. The arrest is one thing, but what really I'm hearing from a lot of people saying, why was that use of force necessary? Was that necessary in that situation? And you mentioned, second, that the officer has been suspended from the program. Is he facing being fired from the police department?
Like I said, we started an internal investigation immediately, and we want people to trust in the policy, or in the process, in this procedure, and know that we will hold our officers accountable. So,
the Civilian Review Board is also running a parallel investigation into this, and I am being respectful of this investigatory process that is underway, and we are hopeful that these investigations that are occurring on a parallel track will be resolved quickly, and then we will have our path forward from that day.
Back to the use of force, though. I mean, why would it ever be necessary for what we saw in that video for a law-abiding woman who was just doing her job?
It was not necessary, and that's what we are here to say. And we are truly apologetic. The conversation I had with Ms. Wubbles was very sincere, and there's a strong desire on her part to work with us to create a path forward that keeps our community whole and provides for dialogue that is effective and not destructive. And we look forward to working with her and others who continue to help us evolve as a law enforcement agency and as a city.
As part of your investigation, could termination be a possible outcome of this? I mean, you said he's suspended from a particular program, but what about his employment in general?
We'll have to let the process play out. Like I said, I haven't made any decisions. I haven't reviewed the whole thing yet. So, again, I want people to trust in the process and know that this police department will stand behind whatever it needs to do to ensure that we serve the citizens, the medical community, the nurses, everybody, everywhere, with great work from this police department.
And then any reason why she came out with the footage rather than you guys releasing it yourself? Any comment on that, whether to get out in front of the story?
That was their decision. But here's the thing. I think we're in front of the story because we had immediately met with the University of Utah, their CEOs, the nurse management team, within 24 hours of this incident. It was their decision to release the video. But, keep in mind, we were already going down this track from the very start.
Why was the decision made to simply suspend the officer from the blood draw program as opposed to putting him on paid administrative leave? And he's continuing to work and to arrest other people if his day-to-day job requires it, right? Well,
it was a situation where his access to situations like this would be limited. And again, he's on a modified duty with restricted responsibilities and duties.
Is he working in the field, or is he?
No, he's not.
He's working in the office?
He's a detective, right.
Any other questions?
What about her? Any repercussions legally, criminally against her?
Against her?
Yeah, like she was arrested and taken out that night. Have all of those
No,
charges been dropped?
that was not a just arrest. I think we all know that she was released that evening without leaving the grounds of the hospital. Again, the circumstances are unacceptable, and we are very apologetic for what happened to Ms. Wubbles.
What can you say about the actions of the other officers who witnessed this but seemed to not step in to aid Ms. Wubbles?
You know, one of the officers worked for the university, and the chief can maybe dialogue around the discussion that they had following the incident. We did have another officer on scene who you can hear is trying to stop the situation a little bit. And
good question. But the investigation will take into account all the officers that were there, either as witnesses or as part of the investigation. But that's where I think we've made a lot of ground. We've met with Chief Brophy. I'd like to continue to meet with him to talk about how we can work together so that this never happens again.
One more.
According to the Logan Police Department, which has requested the blood draw, they said that their detective, upon learning that the hospital wasn't consenting or cooperating, that they decided that they informed OPD that they would pursue a medical subpoena and were not involved in any discussion about arresting Ms. Wubbles. Why was the decision made to continue pursuing that arrest after Logan PD said they would pursue a subpoena?
That will all play out in our investigation.
Chief, when did you first see the video?
I saw it first yesterday in its entirety.
Is there an investigation into any statements made by the officer in the video about taking certain patients, particularly maybe transient or homeless patients, to the University of Utah Hospital and taking other patients to other hospitals?
We will look at this investigation in its entirety. We will look at every aspect, what was said and what was done, what was witnessed by other officers. Please, and that's what I want to reiterate, trust in the process. Please trust in our police department.
Yeah, what I don't want is for our entire police department to be painted in a bad light due to the actions of an individual. Clearly, we believe the actions of this individual were not justified. We have a very good, one of the best law enforcement agencies in the country, and I say that with all due respect. But we have an incident here that I believe is completely unacceptable, and we are doing our due diligence on investigating this, and we have incorporated into that at a very early stage a civilian review board parallel track investigation as well.
Was the officer motivated because the victim was a reserve officer and was trying to clear a fellow officer from this crash?
I personally am not even unaware of that particular.
Of who the victim was?
Yes.
We do have to wrap this up, guys. Sorry.
How is the city and the police department responding to what we understand are waves of phone calls from the concerned public coming in?
We are responding here right now with you. By having this press conference, we have pushed information out to the community through social media. We are definitely responding. And again, I will say to you, last night was the first I had seen of this body cam footage, and we worked very diligently to make sure we could get in contact with Ms. Wubbles this morning before we came to you. So thank you again for your time.
Any questions, Brown?
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you.
Thank you.